A very warm welcome to you, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream. It seems to me like it's been forever since I streamed, as just my schedule has been extremely unstable lately. But I want to welcome, first of all, Ellard to Captain. Thank you very much for your support. Boeing Corp Mike, my dear friend from Logan, New Jersey, in the US of A. And I definitely second that statement by you. Dougal McTavish, welcome aboard. Hello, Roy. Airbus on top. Hello, guys. Welcome. Glad to have you with me this evening, where we are going to take this flight in Brazil for a change. And we are heading today to Rio de Janeiro. It should be an interesting flight aboard this rather amazing iFly Boeing 737 MAX 8 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update 3. Incidentally, I have been provided with early access to X-Plane 12.3. I'm sure you've seen many content creators creating some videos and streams and showcasing the new features in X-Plane 12. I haven't really had the time to do that, and I have decided also to strike a balance between both X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim, of course, with my main focus remaining still on X-Plane. But yeah, today we are going to be taking this iFly 737 from... I'm going to show you some stuff today that I've been working on. We are going to take it from... Now, I am very sure I cannot pronounce this correctly, but we are in Vitória, Brazil, Eurico de Aguiar Salas International. It's saying that the runway isn't used, but it's the only runway that is reasonable for our departure with with headwind. We are arriving a little later into Rio de Janeiro at the Galileo Antonio Carlos International Airport, runway 15. As you can see, we have violent crosswinds, and this is probably going to be a good flight and approach to really test if the weather is now really working in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Our flight is actually a short flight, about a 40-minute flight, and I am not going to go to 30,000 feet because the distance is actually very short. So we are probably going to go to 28,000. Well, 30,000 is okay. We'll just leave it. That's fine. But the distance, the route in nautical miles is less than this, but maybe this is the optimal, flight level for the flight. Well, enough said. Let's go ahead and hop into the cockpit and get this bird ready to go. And hello, Thomas. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Brazil is really nice now in 2024. Yeah, Brazil is always nice. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to head over to the electronic flight bag here. We're going to power it up, and we're going to initialize the flight. Next, we are going to go to the performance and payload. We're going to go to weight and balance. We're going to read the data from MSFS, and then we are going to bring up Navigraph charts. Let me just do the thing here so you guys can follow along. Let me bring up Navigraph charts. There we go. We're going to put it here on the side and grab the required information for our flight. The first thing is we have 178 passengers on board today, so that's the full load, 178. And then we are going to go to the cargo. Now, for the cargo, we have 6.2, so we are going to put 4 in, so we'll put 4,000 in the cargo in the aft, and we'll put 2.2, so 2,200 in the forward cargo. All right, perfect. And next we're going to go to the fuel, and in the fuel we are going to set our total fuel here, which is I believe 12.5. If we look here at the block fuel, is 12.5 indeed. So that's 12,500. So 12,500. And then we are going to come here to the taxi fuel, and that's about 420. So 420 is in here. And then we have about the trip fuel is 4605. So 4605, 4605. Okay. Now we have the fuel here. Everything is set. And next we are going to come here and say complete. Okay. Perfect. So now we should have the correct fuel in the aircraft. That said, let's go ahead and make sure everything is in position before we start the landing gear extension here. We're going to make sure that all of these are closed, which they are. We're going to make sure that the oxygen bottle here and all the other equipment is on board. We've got our jackets here as well, the pilot jacket. Let me make sure these are correct here. All right. Next, we're going to make sure that the fuel switches are in the off position and the throttle is in idle detent. The landing gear is selected down. And with that, we can now move up here. And we're going to make sure that the wipers are both off. And finally, we're going to go here and turn on the master battery switch on. Perfect. Now we're going to need external power. So we're going to head over to the menu. We're going to go to the system page. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to go to, yeah, it is the system page. We're going to go to the sim menu, ground support, and we're going to connect the GPU. So we're going to click here on set, and that will bring up the ground power. All right, so there we go. Ground power is now connected. All right, perfect. And with that, we are going to come immediately here and turn on our hydraulic switches. We're going to turn the left aft fuel pump, and then we're going to go from top to bottom. Nothing here yet. Everything cabin utility, and the passenger seat IFE is turned on. Moving down here, everything here is good. We're going to come over here, and we're going to make sure that the emergency light is armed. And the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on as we have already refueled the aircraft. We're going to check the fuel. I'm not sure why we don't have the fuel set up correctly here. So let me just go back here real quick. Let's go to the menu, performance. Let's see here. Copy FMC data. Let me go to weight and balance. And now if we read the set payload and set fuel. All right, so that's the fuel. Let's set the fuel, and I think now it's done. Now we can say complete, and now we should have the right amount of fuel. All right, my bad. Let's cancel the master caution, and we're going to come back here. We're going to turn on the window heat, and down here we don't need the anti-ice, so we'll leave that alone. The final cruise altitude today is 30,000 feet, so we'll set that. Trim air is on, and all the switches here are fine. Everything is good. Perfect. Let's move down here and perform the tests. There we go. And the fire test. Cargo fire test as well. Perfect. All the tests here are performed. And now we can go to the overhead panel right over here to test the flight data recorder, which checks OK. Perfect. Mach speed warning test 1. Mach speed warning test 2. Stall warning test 1 and 2. Perfect. Next, ADIRS set to nav. And 2 minutes until alignment. Okay, perfect. All right, now we can come here. We're going to go ahead and turn on the yaw damper so that I don't forget it. And let's clear the master caution. All right, we are now in a good shape to start programming the FMC. So let's do that. We're going to come here, and we are going to bring up Navigraph charts once again. And we can now, I'll make it a bit smaller. here, so we can push it to the side. Perfect. Michael JXP Q8, you are going to try the new 12.3 X-Plane update, or have you completely given up on X-Plane? No, to the contrary of that. I am definitely, you know, one of the probably long-time supporters of X-Plane, and I'm X-Plane and Q8 pilot are synonymous. So that is, I know it's a strong statement, but it is true. This channel was found on X-Plane, and I have no intention ever of, you know, of moving away from X-Plane as a platform. So, but you know, some balance is definitely long overdue, I think. So, all right, let's go to the position here. We are currently at Sierra Bravo Victor Tango, and that is our reference airport. We're going to go to the next page, select the GPS position, previous page, set that, and next we're going to go to the route, and we can now request the flight plan. So I think in terms of the SimBrief integration, I think the iFly 737 still needs work, but I think that by far this is one of my absolute favorites for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Really an incredible aircraft, very, very immersive, and a real joy to hand fly as well. All right, so we're going to go to the departure here, and let's see. We are going to depart runway 20, and we're going to do so through the VAPA 1 Charlie departure. And we have the OSVAC transition. Do we have that? We do have it indeed. And we're going to say execute. Next, we're going to go to the arrival. The arrival is going to be the Otbo 2 Alpha. I just missed it right there. And I believe we're going to use the MALSO transition. And it is going to be runway 15. And this is the only one. The ILS runway 15 is right here. And I think that let's just very quickly take a look here at the ILS. So there's the Zulu, and this is the only one that is appearing for us. If we click here, you'll see that we have the outbound transition, and if we click on the second one, it is still the outbound transition. So we are going to select this one here, and we're going to say execute. Perfect. Let's just very quickly take a look at the legs page. We'll make sure that there are no discontinuities. And looks like all is good here. Perfect. And now we can go to the next page. So let's go to RTE, and yeah, everything here is good. Perfect. So perfect. Zero fuel weight. Now the zero fuel weight is something that you can grab from your FMC. So what did I do? I clicked on the trim. All right, so let's go to weight and balance here real quick. And so at taxi, we are going to take this number. So the zero fuel weight here is 141529. 141259. 141259. So 0.3 is 141 dot 529. Actually, we can do 0.5. That's it. That's fine. Okay, and that will give us the gross weight there. The plant fuel, we'll just leave that. The reserve is something you can grab from your Navigraph charts. So if we go to the SimBrief flight plan and we add the alternate with the final reserve, that gives us about 5 tons of fuel today for the reserves. And the cruise winds are available here. So 205,008, 20, what was it? God, I'm getting old. All right, 205 and 08 for the cruise wind, and the ESA is 10, positive 10, that is. So that will automatically, the transition altitude is 5,000. Limit, we are going to derate our takeoff and climb to 94.4. And next, we're going to go to the takeoff. We're going to select flaps 5 for the departure, and the CG is 24. That gives us a trim of 4.98, and we're going to activate our speeds. V2 is 150, and while we're at it, let's reset the altimeter to 3030, and we are going to come here now and set this to V2 plus 10. That's 160. All right, and we're going to turn on our flight directors and set the cruise altitude to 30,000 feet. Pretty rainy and stormy Brazil today across our route to Rio de Janeiro. All right, 30 is set. Everything's good here. We're going to make sure that the auto brake is set to rejected takeoff, and we can now start the APU. Okay, let's come here and start the APU. All right. So while the APU starts, there's something I want to show you guys. Hello, Rand. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Hello there, Alexandra. Mr. K, would you rather play X-Plane 12 or Microsoft Flight Sim 2024? I have an affinity for X-Plane, but as I indicated, I would like to strike a little bit of a balance and, show you guys what's there in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's definitely getting there now. Definitely. Right. So you've been seeing this coming up. So I've been working with something called bold.new to build the new Q8 pilot website. And you'll see that in this website, I have, due to popular demand, I have created the flight simulation tools section here. And the first thing you'll find, I've already posted this. You can already access the tools, not the website because I'm still working on it, but I've posted a link in the community tab on the channel where you can actually do the top of descent and the rate of descent, both of them. This one will calculate both, but if you just need the rate of descent, so I created this calculator for you guys to use. Very, very easy. Of course, it takes the glide slope. It assumes a 3-degree glide slope. So if the glide slope is different than 3, if you're going into Innsbruck, the numbers might be a little bit off because the glide slope into Innsbruck is 4 degrees. So, but for for most cases, for about 99% of the time, this is going to work perfectly for you. The way it works is very easy. I've already set it so that it has an example here for you. But let's say that you are, let's say 25,000 feet, and the target altitude or the platform altitude from your chart says 280. And at 25, let's say that you are traveling at 240 knots. It tells you the altitude to lose is 23,000. Drop per nautical mile is 318. The TOD distance, 72.2, means you need to start the descent 72 nautical miles from the destination. Time to TOD is 18.1. Start with a buffer. So if you want to start with a buffer, you can add about, I think, 10% or so. And it calculates that. And then your VS to maintain, this is the big question that a lot of you have been asking me, is Q8. How do you calculate this? And of course, I'm using the rule of thumb. So it's the ground speed times 5, basically. And the tool uses exact trigonometry to calculate the numbers. But I felt that this might be something very useful for you guys. Again, if you don't need this, you just need the rate of descent calculator. You can come here, put exactly 240, and voila, it will give you the information. Again, you can change the glide angle. So if I put 4, then it will change the numbers as well. So again, for Innsbruck, for example, you need to change the glide angle. The same thing here. So if I change this to 4, you'll see that things will differ. So everything will differ here. So obviously you need to descend faster on a glide angle of 4 degrees. So I hope that you guys find this useful. If you want the tool, it is available today. I've already created a community post and I've put in the link there. You can access it, but stay tuned. A full Q8 pilot website is coming soon for you guys with lots of very useful stuff. So I just wanted to show you this here, one of the things that I've been working on for you guys. All right, so the APU is good now, so we're going to put the buses there on the APU. We're going to come here, turn on the APU bleed. Engine bleeds can go off. and we are pretty much ready to go, but we are a few tests away from completing everything here. So we are going to put this on the legs page. We're going to come to the second FMC unit, and we're going to put it on VNAV, so for our climb. And next we are going to test the lights here. We should have done that earlier, but that's okay. And then we're going to test the GPWS system.
Pull up.
All right. And
Wind shear.
we are also
Wind
going
shear.
to test the
Wind shear.
TCAS.
Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up.
All right.
Don't sink. Too low. Terrain.
Let's turn on
Too
our
low.
fuel
Gear.
pumps.
Test okay.
Too low. Flaps.
All right. TCAS test is okay.
Glide slope. Bank angle.
Anti-collision lights
Approaching
are
minimum.
on.
Minimums.
And we can now
2,500. 1,000.
request GSX services to push back out of our position.
300. 200.
Swiss International.
100.
Oh,
50.
come on.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Wind shear.
Q8,
Wind shear.
how do you get
Wind
the
shear.
FMC
Too low. Terrain. Caution.
to
Terrain.
auto-set the trim
Caution.
and the
Terrain.
correct. Dougal
Terrain.
has
Terrain.
answered this. Thank you,
Pull
Dougal.
up. Caution. Obstacle. Caution.
I'll show you
obstacle,
guys in a little bit. We'll go and take a look
obstacle.
at the
Pull up.
menus in the EFB and all the available options. There's, by the way, a lot that you can do in terms of the options and setting the aircraft up to your liking. All right. All right, we need to disconnect the GPU. So let me go here very quickly, go to the system page, go to ground support, and we're going to disconnect the GPU now. All right, perfect. I really, really like the texturing of this aircraft. The modeling is of the first order, both inside and out, including the cabin, by the way. So if you are a Boeing fan, like Boeing Corp Mike said, this is an absolute must-have. Look at this cabin, guys. I mean, every little detail has been really done to perfection with the this 737 Max. All right, let me come here, close the cockpit door, and we're going to do nose to the right, obviously. Nose to the right. All right, that wants to release the parking brake, so there we go. We'll hit the toe brakes, and the parking brake is released. And now we have, we'll wait for clearance to start our engines. Ah, I think the chocks are on, so let me remove those. There we go. All right, and there is our clearance, ladies and gents. So let's come over here, and we're going to start with engine number 2. Make sure the packs are off, which they are. And now we can see the engines are spooling. Look at that. And the beacon light works exactly as it should. One of the things that is always bugs me in Microsoft Flight Sim is that you can hardly see the beacon lights, but not on this 737 by iFly. Really, really highly recommended aircraft for Microsoft Flight. Right, motoring, we'll wait for the motoring to complete. And there we go. We can now start engine number 2. And of course, we don't want to miss the beautiful sounds, so we're going to switch to the... Oh, yeah. Very nice indeed. Very nice sounds. All right, so we have a good start on the second, our engine number 2. So now we can go ahead and start engine number 1. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Ground, and that is going to spool the second engine. All right, parking brake is set. All right, and let's go ahead and confirm.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Perfect.
You can disconnect.
So a few days ago, I've also created for those of you who are following the news on the channel, is I have now another channel titled Genovate, and this is a separate channel for everything AI, generative AI, that is. And I have been having a ball with AI lately, and I created a short documentary on Delta flight 4819 or 4918, sorry. Was a scheduled flight from Minneapolis International to Toronto, and I hope that you guys liked it. For those of you who watched it, I hope that you've enjoyed it. It's a short 2-minute documentary on the events of that flight. I've done my best to recreate it in the best possible way using AI, which was it was a really nice experience, really just going through creating the whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And for those of you who are asking for the TOD calculations, I hope that you enjoy the, let's go ahead and start the engine here. I hope that you enjoy the new TOD calculator as well. Okay, so here are the engines coming up. Let's set our flaps for flaps 5, 1, 2, and 5. There we go. And of course, we want to take a look at the flaps while they're deployed. Very nice sounds and animations. Right, that is now set. Perfect. And we'll just wait for the engine number 1 to stabilize, and we'll be on our way. Okay, let's come over here now, and we're going to set the gens there off the APU. We're going to turn on the engine bleeds, APU bleed off, pack to auto, isolation valve to auto, and we can now turn off the APU. Engine start switches to continuous. We're going to turn on the taxi light, and everything here is checked, recall checked. All right, perfect. Right, folks, we are ready to go. Parking brake is released, and let's head over to runway 20 for departure. If you guys would like me to do, say, intentions in my next X-Plane or Microsoft flight stream, please let me know here in chat. Hello, Mohan. How are you doing, my friend, from Sacramento? How is Sacramento, my friend? It's been a very long time since I've been to Sacramento, the capital of California. All right, here we go. I love departures during the rain. I think they just make things very immersive. So, yeah. All right, so the runway is at the far end of this taxiway, so we're just going to continue here taxiing, enjoying this really lovely scene with those beautiful palm trees here to our left as we taxi down the taxiway there to, again, look at this again. It looks really, really nice. Yeah, definitely Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is definitely on the right track. I imagine this Sim Update 3, had this been the first version released for Microsoft Flight Sim on the inauguration day, I think things would have been much, much different for the guys over at Microsoft and for many of the developers as well. I've noticed also significant improvement in the performance in this version, Sim Update 3. So I'm quite happy with where the sim is, and I have been enjoying it. I've done a lot of flights, a lot of GA flights that are really immersive. The one thing I haven't really been able to enjoy, and it is always an immersion breaker for me, is the winds. The wind seems to be non-existent in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. No matter how violent they are, the aircraft just flies smoothly, no problem, no crosswind, no nothing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens today. How are you doing, Roy? I hope that you are well, my friend. I've tried enter my zero fuel line sim brief, but it says error. Where did you try to enter, Alexander? Where did you get the error from? All right, so I think this is the runway right there. So we're going to make the turn. That's runway 20. So it's we're going to cross the runway here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights and runway turn off lights. We're going to also turn the strobes on, taxi lights off, and yeah, we are ready to go, folks. By the way, if you turn on the wipers, you'll see that it does a really nice effect. It's not perfected yet. You can see this line here. I think it's nice. It does kind of clean up the window for you, but I think it still needs work as well. So anyway, that's the wiper for you. All right, let's do that, and we are good to go. I'm just going to go a little bit further down here to runway 20. Gives us a little bit of length there, but I think we should be fine. Actually, let's do the following, guys. Let's go here, and we will just make the turn and go at the beginning of the runway. That's, I think, the safer thing to do. So let's do that. All right, here we go. Slow it down a little bit. I am, by the way, today, for the very first time in Microsoft Flight Sim, using FSRealistic. When I use FSRealistic nowadays, I honestly do not like a lot of the sounds that it produces. I think it really messes with the authentic sounds of the aircraft. Some of the sounds, not all of them. So I've turned off most of the sounds off, and but I do like the movement. So this is something that is that we're going to be seeing today, especially during during our landing into Rio de Janeiro. Okay, let me reset my view here. We are ready to go. This button here is the toga button. So let me make sure this is all good here. And we're just going to add a little bit of power. All right. And then, we need our auto throttle. Come on. There we go. And then, come on. There we go. Toga is pressed. A little forward pressure there on the yoke. Those sounds are beautiful, and this is quite an immersive scene here. 80 knots check. 100 knots, release the pressure on the yoke. Keep the center line. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, and gears going up. Wow, look at this departure, guys. What a beautiful departure here. All right, let's make sure we don't get carried away with those views. Right, we're above 1,000 feet. We're gonna go VNAV, LNAV, and we're gonna begin retracting the flaps. Okay, let me do that. Perfect. Right, and Command A is engaged. Very heavy rain here as we depart. Right, we're going to adjust the range here to 40 nautical miles. Excellent. It's estimated 168,590 kilograms on SimBrief. Alexander, one thing that you want to check is make sure that your that if it's in kilograms, make sure that the settings in the EFB is kilograms and that you're not using the the imperial system. Otherwise, things will probably not look correct. So just make sure, double check that you have the right metric system, metric or imperial system for your weight and balance. That might be an issue. This looks like a Zibo mod, but with different displays. This is the 737 MAX, so it is different than the Zibo, if that's what you're referring to. This is a really beautiful sight here out of the cockpit window as we climb through those clouds. Let's take a look at the outside real quick, guys. Look at those beautiful engines there. Definitely a very, very nice scene here. Again, not too crazy about, how the clouds look, but they're not bad. They're not bad. All right, 10,000 feet, landing lights off. Runway turn-off lights off, engine start switches to off, and everything here is good. Let's make sure that the rejected takeoff is off as well. And we are now cleared to 30,000 feet. Perfect. Very, very nice aircraft, really. Okay, so let's take a look here a little bit at the EFB, since a lot of you guys are having questions. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that we have a failure system, so you can add a random failure. You can add or clear failures here. Let me go from the beginning. So the airport map here, you have the performance load is something you get here, terminal charts, and you have a video as well, where you can look at the right door here from the left and the right, and you can also look at the cabin, so you can identify who's knocking on the cockpit door before you open the door. Pretty cool. Okay, so next is your performance. That's where we've set up the aircraft, the item page. Let's go to system now. So this is where you can add the random failures. Then if we go to the system, beg your pardon, let's go back here. We are going to go to the system page, and then we're going to go to, so there's in the system page, you'll have the sim menu. From the sim menu now, we have all of this. You have the panel style, pushback, ground support, refuel, doors, and the A-cars. The A-cars is going to just where you enter your SimBrief ID. And if we go here to the doors, this is where you can set all the aircraft doors. And by the way, there are a lot more than the doors that you can open as well. So here are the doors. You can go to page down, and this is again the rest of the aircraft doors, the air stairs, all of that you can manipulate here. We're going to go back and go to the refuel section here, and from this page you can actually turn the valves on and off for refueling, which is pretty cool. Next we're going to say cancel, and we're going to go to ground support. Now from ground support, there's a multitude of things that you can do, including the shocks, electrical, pneumatic pressure, air conditioning, fueling, vacuum lavatory service. I can show you this once we land. Then if you go to page down here, page 2, potable water, the forward air stair, the aft galley truck. So all of this is some stuff you can set. Again, ground support, you can see that there is a lot of things. You can do the bottle refill here, the oxygen system reset, brake temperature reset, battery reset, all of that good stuff there. And from the fourth page, you have also the reflective safety cons, which you can set. You have also the covers here, the pitot covers that you can also set, and you can open the dome at the front. It's currently closed. We can open it once we are at Rio de Janeiro. So let me go back here real quick. Now from pushback, again, you can set the towing lever pin. It has actually its own pushback if you want to use it. And then if we go to the panel style, now here there's a lot of different options. One of which is the general here. and this is where you manipulate the system units from metric to US system. You can also select the cell and always display in Celsius. You can select the engine type, which one do you want, the joystick sensitivity, and the probe. There, I have the aspirated one. You can have one as well, by the way, with the test switch, and you can also have the autopilot. I have all the options currently turned on, and then we can go to the navigational display. Again, you can change this exactly to your liking, which is very, very cool. Highly customizable aircraft. Multifunction display. Again, in quarts, in percent, and liters, whatever you like. You can set that. Ground proximity system, you can turn it on and off. The runway advisory system. The control display CDU. Then we can go to other systems. Now here is where you can set your alignment to be either fast or realistic or custom or instant. You can also, the parking brake, set realistic logic. You can set that here. Then you have here the landing lights with flash, enable lavatory smoke, 2-position tail skid. And if I go to the second page here, again, you have the beacon light and the hydraulic types as well, which you can configure to your liking. If we go one page back and go to the miscellaneous here, you'll see that you have time acceleration, acceleration mode, set auto set fuel pumps, pause the sim when fuel quantity, pause sim at before TOD, cabin sun visors, you can have them at auto, emergency lights. All of this again is available at your disposal, and here's the option that you were asking about, which is setting the auto trim. This is the auto trim function here. You can also have headphone simulation. I have also used Sync Captain and FO, Minimus, and Barrow, so that when I change it on one side, it changes on the other. And that is a quick run through, ladies and gents, of the electronic flight bag aboard the iFly 737. We are at 19,000 feet. We're always looking good here. And this is how things are looking from the outside. Very, very nice to fly over Brazil. And now that we are here, I want to set this again. This is a very tricky approach because of the elevation and the actual mountainous terrain around the airport. So we are going to come down here. This is runway 15. Let's go to the fixed page. I'm going to enter RW15 and enter that there. And we are going to very quickly come here and check for runway 15. We're going to take a quick look here at the, I'm going to remove that, and let's remove, okay. So 149 is the approach 149, and we are going to put a 10 nautical mile ring, and 149 and 20 nautical mile ring. There we go. And now we should have it in our flight plan. Perfect. We're going to put the weather on this side. We'll leave the terrain on the first officer's side. And let's see here. Let's put this on 40. Nah, there we go. All right, so top of climb is coming up in just a few. And we forgot our clock, so we'll start it now. There we go. You won't regret it's a great... It is. I bought the Max a few days ago. I couldn't wait for the 7:30 p.m. GG to be available. You will not regret it for sure. It is an excellent, excellent aircraft. Well, I'm glad we helped you there, Chief Queef. I'm glad it all worked out for you. Yeah. So, our next stream is going to be on Saturday, folks, and I am going to be doing more than likely, so either one of those two aircraft. Maybe I will run a poll, but you guys can let me also know, so, you know, just give me a little bit of, you know, consensus there on what you guys like to see. There are two aircraft that three aircraft that I'm really fond of. So I'm going to give you guys three choices. I will... I think I can run a poll here. Let me see if I can add. So start a poll. All right, so, okay, let me just do it here. So I'm just going to say which aircraft next. Okay. And then I'm going to say let me give you the choices here. And then we're going to say I'll make it so you guys can wait in excitement and curiosity as to what I'm typing right now. All right, so there we go. This one here, and let's add this one for you guys as well. All right. What I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to honor, since you guys are supporting me here on stream, I am going to follow your consensus here. Whatever you guys pick here, I'm going to stream next Saturday. All right, so let's go here and start the poll. There we go. All right, so here are the choices, ladies and gents. And hello, Carl. Welcome aboard, my friend. Hello there, Ryan. Welcome. How did you fly the Cessna Citation by Flight FX? Unfortunately, no. Still, I haven't. So here are the choices, ladies and gents. It's the Fearless 747, the Hot Start, the Challenger 650 by Hot Start, or the Fly JSIM-8. Choice is yours. I will honor whatever you guys select during the stream. We will exit the poll at the very end when we land in Rio de Janeiro. Choice is yours, and your wish is my command. Flight Simulation 101, welcome. Right, almost at our cruise altitude. Let's take a quick look here. And yeah, things are definitely looking much, much nicer now in 2024. Still not exactly where I wanted to be in terms of the texture loading and things like that, especially at higher altitudes, but it's starting to really look good. Again, I do not like the lighting in MSFS. I think it's just really highly unrealistic lighting and highly unrealistic sky colors as well. Top of climb in 1,000 feet, and I'm definitely very, very excited about X-Plane 12.3, and definitely Laminar is on the right track for creating or continuing and improving their sim to be probably the single most realistic experience when it comes to flying an aircraft in a sim. The physics in X-Plane are definitely not matched. Okay, but now I think what we are seeing in X-Plane is that you have the lighting system, extremely realistic lighting system, extremely realistic weather system. With the new clouds in X-Plane, quite frankly, I like them far, far better than the clouds in Microsoft Flight Sim. I do like the smoothing in Microsoft Flight Sim a bit more. So when the aircraft is actually going through the clouds, the cloud smoothing effect is nicer in Microsoft Flight Sim. But everything else regarding the environment, I think X-Plane is really starting to excel, and we are really starting to see Laminar listening to the community. I understand that they are very slow, but the reason they are slow is that, of course, they do not have the capability or the team size as Microsoft and Asobo combined have. And that, of course, puts in a lot of strain on what they can and how fast they can do it. So for this reason, I think they have a few bunch of highly talented people, but, you know, again, the numbers are very small. They have a very small team. It's a small software company, and they are by no means a game studio. And it is all driven by their passion, for flight, especially the founder of X-Plane. So So that said, yeah, I am extremely excited about X-Plane 12.3 and the roadmap of where they're going. I think when I fly in X-Plane, I get a lot of satisfaction. Just really having a feel for something that, you know, at least it matches my experience when I flew real aircraft. So, yeah. All right, let's take a look here and let's see. Mr. Valero, welcome aboard. No worries, man. The wife comes first. You gotta keep the wife happy. Happy wife, happy life, my friend. So I completely get you there. No worries whatsoever. It's a great choice to let MRX join the LR team. The promise. Oh, Mr. X, yes, definitely. They that promises a lot. OMDB is as far as I know, the first rendition for him. Yes, correct, Roy. You're absolutely correct there. Mr. X has been a long time contributor to the X-Plane community. In fact, he is one of the best, if not the best, scenery creators for X-Plane. He has done a lot for this community, and for which I thank him. He's really a champion when it comes to X-Plane content. He moved on to payware, but what I admire about this guy is that even though he had, you know, some payware products, you know, that you obviously pay for, he actually continued to update his freeware products for the community, like, for example, Boston, Massachusetts, a beautiful airport. You've got also his, I believe, you've got two, I think, payware San Francisco, and he has a freeware San Francisco as well. And of course, he's got many excellent products. Obviously, this guy is an X-Plane lover, just like myself. So yeah, his contributions are great. So Boston, yes, K-Boss, yeah. Mohan, hi Q8 pilot, can we have a presentation using X-Plane 12 and flight factor 777 how to handle a missed approach? I'm not sure how I should reprogram the FMC to capture the GS localizer. Sure, yeah, we can do that. I guess I'm an unhappy guy. Exposure value won't help with the oversaturated orange color in MSFS. I totally agree there with you, my friend. Yes. See, Microsoft Flight Sim is not a bad sim, by the way. And I think it is a great flight sim, especially for those of you who like VFR, including myself, by the way. Sometimes when I want to really enjoy the scenery and I want to use visual cues and I really want to simulate a VFR flight, I find myself going to Microsoft Flight Sim. Why? Because it does have those real visual cues as they would appear in real life. So when you actually read your charts on Navigraph charts, it tells you, for example, that there is an obstacle here, or make the turn just about a few nautical miles from the church that you will see to your left. You know, things like that you cannot find in X-Plane, but you will find that this is extremely well depicted in Microsoft Flight Sim. And I think this is where really Microsoft Flight Sim really shines. Scenery-wise, like I said many times before, I feel Microsoft Flight Sim is highly unrealistic, but highly cinematic in terms of the color, the saturation. So it does definitely provide for a very convincing, a very convincing visual scene for the most part. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't cut it for me, especially when flying IFR like our flight today. I do love this iFly 737 though, and it's becoming really my favorite alongside the FS Labs and Phoenix Airbuses. They are just becoming really my favorite aircraft. So, helps overexposed clouds, and just monitor contrast helps with ground textures. Rex Atmos, if you think thank you very much, Keith. I do have Rex Atmos. I heard that it's been upgraded to work with 2024. I haven't tested it out yet. I've been extremely busy, guys, and I've been really very tired the last couple of weeks. My son started a new school, so I transferred him from the British system to the American system. So there's just so many, like orientation and, new uniform and, him getting used to everything. And I'm very involved in my son's, life. I like to remain very involved in everything in his education. So it's been quite a nerve-wracking couple of weeks. I have my other daughter as well, graduating high school. So we are getting her, stuff and her paperwork ready for her to go and study abroad for college. I have my third daughter over in New Zealand studying in medical school. So just juggling everything together and keeping everyone happy is no easy task. Yeah, so definitely, yeah, it's been very tiring, and I also work from 7 to 5 every day. So with that schedule and just the just the pressure, everyday pressure is mounting. And of course, some of you guys know I've started another channel, which I do want to focus on as well. And I just have so many things. My mind is just occupied with so many things. But I am again very committed to. I'm very committed to flight simulation. I'm very committed to this community. I'm very committed to all of you guys who've been supporting me for the last 10 years. So I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'll always be there. A big international family you've got there, Captain. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right. So top of descent is coming up, guys. We need to reset the MCP altitude. So I'm going to go here to the legs page. I'm going to go to, so I believe it's 1710. So FMC reset. So let's go ahead and reset that to 1700 feet. Now I've noticed that this is again going to be we have to if I increase the range here, you'll see that we don't have much before we arrive into Rio de Janeiro. This is the 20 nautical mile ring. This is top of descent. So we need to descend a little bit faster in the beginning. And if we see that the aircraft isn't doing what it's supposed to do, then we will go to vertical speed, manual vertical speed, and descend a little faster. So, or you can use the Q8 pilot calculator for the rate of descent like I showed in the beginning. For me now, MS is all in. The flight models are improving. The landing physics are the only thing where XB12 still shines, in my opinion. Yeah, with the headwind, it's usually okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, we're going to test this today, folks. So we'll see what happens. Why is the aircraft not descending? I thought that we arrived at the top of descent. Let me go here to the legs page. We are definitely not descending, so I'm not sure what happened here, but we're going to go to vertical speed, and I'm going to descend at 2,000 feet per minute. There we go. And we have now begun the descent. So 28, we need to be below 28,000 here. Let me put the data. Let's see, position data. There we go. Now we'll get all the details there. So we'll know if we are not at the right altitude for the sector that we're flying, and that should help us set. All right, so we need to set up our frequencies as well for the ILS. So we're going to come here 110.5, and we have 110.5 set here. and here, so this is automatic. We need to also set the course, which is 149. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, 149 is set here, and we'll do the same thing on the first officer side. 149. And 149 is set. Perfect. Okay. So we continue the descent, and if we look here, we should be below 22,000 feet. Okay, so we need to clear about 5,000 feet right at the next waypoint. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I will continue to descend at 2,000 feet per minute. It would be interesting to see what does Navigraph say. Now I think this is going to say, yeah, it's not connected. Okay, let's connect it real quick. So we're going to say sim connect. There we go. Navigraph Simlink. Okay, let me change the range here a little bit. There we go. So, yeah. All right. So, if we go now and click here, that's us right there. And it says the vertical speed, 2,600 feet per minute is what we need. So, we are definitely not at... So, let me increase our rate of descent just a little bit here to 2,600 feet. Okay, perfect. And more than likely, we're going to need to extend the speed brakes a little bit to maintain the current speed. So let me deploy the speed brakes a little bit here and continue the descent. Yeah, we definitely need to be below 22. We are at 24 and we are 19 nautical miles. So we should be able to do that. We should be able to clear. And the speed is 257. So I think we're looking all right. I love both sims. They both scratch the itch for any particular day of flying. But man, MSFS needs to improve their default airports. Yes, they do. Hello, HD Sim. Welcome aboard. Really proud of you, Q8 Pilot, for having the big international family. This is what I call commitment and dedication. And that explains your big family. Awesome. Thank you very much, Mon. I really appreciate it, sir. I mean, you really inspire and encourage me always. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look here. Descent to destination. We are still... all right, well, I'm just going to leave it there as we descend. I think we do need to extend the speed brake a little further. We have everything set. We're going to set the auto brakes to 2 for the arrival. All right, there we go. And let's take a quick look here at the outside. Again, beautiful modeling of this aircraft. Here, nice clouds as well. All right, 20,000. We need to be below 22, below 20, and below 19. So I think we are okay now. And we'll just continue the current rate of descent a little further. All right, so far, guys, most of you have voted for the Fearless 747. It's currently the winning choice from you guys. Just to let you know, if you want to change your mind, you can. And we still have in second place the Fly JSIM-8, and followed by the Hot Start 650. Very surprising that you guys, you're probably more a lot of you are Boeing guys, so like me. All right, cool. Been here a long time, Q8 is clearly. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. All right, so looks like some turbulence now, and we're definitely getting closer to the ground. We can see there on the terrain radar here, there's some elevation. All right, I think I need to extend the speed brakes a little further there to reduce our speed as we continue there. So we need to be above 13, above 15. There are a few restrictions there along the line, so we should be fine. and we can switch to VNAV momentarily and let the aircraft use managed speed as we continue our approach into Rio de Janeiro. Hello, V-Pilot. Welcome aboard, my friend. I hope you are doing well as well. Okay. All right, so all is looking good here. 15,000. There is a restriction here, so I'm going to switch to VNAV. All right, we'll let the aircraft now go back to managed speed. We can see the terrain right there, so we are closer to the mountains now. And we'll just keep this here until the speed goes down a little bit. Why is it climbing now? I think it's the restriction. All right, that's not something I want to do. So let me fix that. I think it's due to the restriction. That's the last thing we want to do now. Oh, don't do that again. Wow, that's quite a steep dive there. Alright, let me fix that. There we go. Holy moly. Why is it doing that? That shouldn't do that. That's probably a bug that needs to be fixed. Definitely shouldn't do that. Alright, we'll just let the aircraft decelerate and continue the rate of descent here. This is a really nice scene. Let's take a look. This looks really, really good. I love those towering clouds. Very nice indeed. My specs, 90, around prime 95. All night, no crash. Perfect. Make sure those windows are open, and we will record our arrival as well. All right, we're coming up to 10,000 feet. Let's turn on the landing lights, runway turn off lights. We're going to put the engine start selectors on continuous, and everything else here is good. Right, we're back to 5.7. Our approach speed is 139. That's something we need to set here real quick. So flaps 30. And 149 for the approach speed. That's the 144 plus 5. That's 149. Okay. All right. We're looking good here now, and we can now retract the speed brakes and arm them. Right. So speed brake is armed, and we're ready for our approach into Rio de Janeiro now. Perfect. All's good here, and we will begin configuring the aircraft. Flaps, landing gear, once we are inside the 10 nautical mile ring there for Rio de Janeiro. So this is the 20, and then we have another one at 10, so we should be fine there. Okay, let's take a look here. Again, as we get closer to the ground, the textures look definitely much, much nicer. They look sharper, they look more realistic. They still need improvement, and now, by the way, with Sim Update 3, you can download most of the regions. They are huge downloads, though, so if you have the time, you can definitely download them, or maybe just let your PC download overnight the regions that you like. I do like the fact that you're able to download now, because streaming is always, you still get those, runway textures not loading, things like that. So, yeah. I keep streaming. It's easier on VRAM. Yes, for sure, Jesse. For sure. It was LNAV with some issues not VNAV. Yeah. Q8, did X-Plane provide you 12.3 beta? Yes, Mr. Valero. They provided me with early access, I haven't yet taken a look at it due just to my really busy schedule. So all I download are some aircraft. Yeah, I probably do the same thing, Dougal. I think that's the wise choice there. So you download them, they come locally, and then you let everything else, just get streamed. Easier on VRAM. You're not going to get the same quality, of course, because that's going to depend largely on your internet connectivity. We are, so we're going to set the altimeter now. There we go. Altimeter is set. Okay, altimeter is set. We are ready. We are at 250, about 260 knots there. That's actually, why is it not? Let's go back to VNAV now. And I hope that it doesn't do what it did earlier. Hopefully not. If it does, then we are going to have to stop it. All right, so it's not doing what it's supposed to do. We are on the VNAV path. Speed is now managed speed. We're going to go to 240, and things are now looking great for our approach. And here's beautiful Brazil here as we approach Rio de Janeiro, ladies and gents. Things are looking fantastic. Here's the 20 nautical mile ring, the 10 nautical mile ring, and things are looking good. Right, we're going to put the vertical profile there just so that I have a little bit of an awareness of the terrain there. And let's go to, there we go. Perfect. FPV. That helps us with the approach. And everything else is in tip-top shape for our approach into our destination. I've disabled all the aircraft I don't use and just have the aircraft I use show up in the selection menu. That's actually a very good thing to do. I probably need to go and do the same thing because most of the aircraft that ship with Microsoft Flight Sim are useless. They're just really bad. They look nice, but nothing beyond that as far as I'm concerned. So yeah. All right, just take a quick look. All right. You'll have, so I'm going to go ahead and end the pool now right before we arrive, just so that I don't forget doing it. And you guys can see the results. And based on the results, you know now what I'm going to stream next Saturday. So here are the results of the poll, ladies and gents. And the winner is the Fearless 747 with 45% of the votes. A total of 66 votes, and 45% of you guys want to see the Fearless 747 next Saturday. A very complex and very intricate aircraft. Very difficult to set up, fly, and learn. But once you do learn it, it's probably one of the most enjoyable aircraft in X-Plane 12. So, alright, so next Saturday at exactly 1700 Zulu, we will be streaming the Fearless 747 in X-Plane 12. The Fearless will always win. The GOAT. I suppose so. Alright, so to 210, we are now reducing our speed. There are lots of restrictions here, and this is quite a nice scene here as the aircraft descends through the clouds. It looks really, really, really nice. Really like that. There you can see it from this side as well. Here, very nice. And this is the 20 nautical mile ring. We are at 6,000 for 1,700. And things are looking great. Let me decrease the range there. We can see a little better. Now you can see the 20 nautical mile ring. And we can see the descent profile there as well, which is pretty cool. Right, so we are 210 is the speed. And with that, we're going to select flaps 5, 1, 2, and 3. Flaps 5 selected. That will help us reduce our speed. and we're going to go down to 170 knots. Again, a quick reminder, our approach speed today is 149 knots. Looking good. Retard the throttle. Excellent. There's the 10 nautical mile ring, so we're still looking good. And this is a rather beautiful approach into Rio de Janeiro with those really beautiful clouds. Wow. They've really done a really good job on the 737. The guys over at iFly, probably one of their most successful products to date is this 737 MAX. All right, we're going to maintain current flap setting, current speed, and we're going to continue to descend to our platform altitude. The runway is ahead now, so we can actually activate the approach here. So we're going to click there on approach, and I can see the runway far in the distance there as we continue to glide towards the runway. I'm not sure why it doesn't illuminate, but I know that it's active now. Let me try it one more time. Still not doing what it's supposed to do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lower our landing gear now. First, let's lower the. Actually, before the lower landing gear, let's go and select flaps 15. There we go. All right. Look at that, guys. Wow. That looks really good. All right. We have the runway in sight. We are landing today runway 15. We can see the glide slope needle moving slowly towards the middle, so we're a bit high, but we should be fine. So that's the runway right there, and we are looking good. At 1,000 feet, I will disconnect the autopilot. We're going to go to flaps 30 now. Right, flaps 30 is set. 149 is our speed, our approach speed. And so we're all configured now for the arrival. We're going to make sure that the speed brake is set. Auto brake is set to 2. And yeah, so I probably configured it a bit early, but that's okay. We want to make sure we're okay. We are now on the glide slope and the localizer. So here's your localizer, here's your glide slope. We're looking good. We continue to descend towards the runway, and things are looking fantastic. Look at that, ladies and gents. Very beautiful scene here as we arrive into our destination. Very nice indeed. By the way, I'm running Microsoft Flight Sim at Ultra. Did you key in the ILS frequency and course? Yes, sir. All done. So approach course is 149. And we are slightly away. Let me see if this works now. All right, so now it's set it to 154. And I'm going to take this down further to 149. And now it's aligning with the runway. And there is runway 15 right there ahead of us. We can see it. And we can see the localizer needle now is moving. And everything is it. Still no light, and I'm sure that there should be a light there when it's active. I could be mistaken, not sure. But we are all good here. And look at this scene, guys. Beautiful. Wow. All right. Before we forget, let's come here and go to FCR, Flight Control Replay, and say record. And we're going to click on the record button here. Let's minimize this, and we'll put it right there in the top corner so that it doesn't bother us. At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect the autopilot and the auto throttle and hand fly the aircraft to runway 15 here at Rio de Janeiro. It is definitely a beautiful scene, and you gotta love it. Just look at that here. Wow, look at that. That's the famous mountain there of Rio, and you can see again all the buildings here. Again, Microsoft Flight Sim at maximum settings. Everything is totally maxed out. This looks absolutely amazing. Look at that, guys. Wow, what a beautiful approach. All right, here we go. Let's not get carried away. We are at 1,000 feet. Right, here's 1,000. I didn't hear the announcement there, but that's okay. And then we're going to disconnect the auto throttle, my aircraft. All right. Very nice approach. A little bit of wind. Definitely can feel it there. Not exactly 15 knot of wind, but that's all right. Yeah, I can definitely feel the wind now. That is really a beautiful approach, guys.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Bit of a float there. And reverse. Reversers are not coming on for some reason. Yeah, the reversers didn't start for some reason. I'm not sure why. All right. All right, we'll go to manual braking and we'll take a quick look at the... All right, let's just make the turn here. And let's... I'm not sure where this is, but where's the terminal? Maybe somewhere over there. Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll just bring the aircraft to a stop here, and we'll take a look at our landing. Okay. So let's come over here. It was a bit of a float. Wasn't really all that great, if you ask me. But let's take a look here. Okay. So here's the approach. I think the approach is a really, really nice approach there. Very, very beautiful here. Rio de Janeiro is really looking fantastic in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Takes a bit of time to load the textures, but overall, this is really a beautiful scene here. Look at that, folks. Wow. Very, very nice. I mean, this really looks good, I have to say. Look at the texturing there on the flaps. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. I'm using FrameGen, yes. Been very nice approach. Beautiful cockpit as well. Yeah, look at the city here. Look at those buildings. It looks just fantastic. Wow. Looks really, really good, I have to say. So for handcrafted airports, I think they look really good, and they model the cities to a great degree of accuracy. Obviously stream data, and they use photogrammetry for the photogrammetry, whatever you call it. Spoilers up on approach. It looks like, yeah, I'm not sure why. I think it's to do with arming the brake. Maybe I pushed it a little further. But yeah, guys, look at this approach. Wow, this looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Very, very nice indeed. Bit of a float there, as you've seen. But we've done okay. Not totally legal, but I'll pass. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Explain terrain from SS 2020 landing feeling is better than for sure. Yes, for sure. Well, how do you guys rate that landing? I rate it myself. If I'm to rate myself, I'd give myself a 6 out of 10. Alright, let's come over here and take control of the plane. And there we go. Okay, let's start the APU. Landing lights off. Runway turn off lights off. Taxi lights on. And the anti-strobes are off. I think the terminal, the main terminal, is on the other side, but that's okay. We can still bring the aircraft to a stop here. Slow it down a little bit. The ground handling of the aircraft, I feel, is a bit off. It's just too abrupt. So I'm not sure that it's completely realistic, but that's fine. We can always select, by the way, position with GSX. So not sure where the position is here. The ground markings are a bit strange, but I think we can just bring the aircraft here, and we set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. And I believe the APU is available now, so we'll put these on the APU. We're going to turn on the APU bleed, and we're going to turn off the engines. This is also off here, and we can also turn off the anti-collision light. And we forgot, by the way, to retract our flaps. I think it's something to do with my throttles. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. The reason why we didn't have the reversers deploy. So it could be that, but I'm not for sure. Yeah. Well, ladies and gents, you guys wanted to see the iFly 737. That's exactly what we've done in our flight today. And I hope that you've enjoyed this flight as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. As per the poll results, we are going to fly the Fila 747 next on Saturday. Want to thank you guys very, very much for being here this evening, for your support, for your engagement, for your likes, for your dislikes, and most of all, for your support, unparalleled support. I really appreciate it. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely day.